This program is brought to you by Pussy Magnets.
Put a midge on your fridge with a pussy magnet.
Welcome, welcome, my lovely lumps. Or maybe let's go with lovely labs. That's pretty on brand. Anyway, I'm so thrilled to have you here in the Labia Lounge. We're going to be yarning about all things sexuality, intimacy, womanhood, relating, holistic health, and everything in between. We're going to have vag loads of real chats with real people about real shit. So buckle up because you're about to receive the sex ed that you never had and hopefully have a bit of a chuckle while you're at it. Before we get stuck in, I'd like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I'm recording this, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. It's a massive privilege to be living and creating dope podcast content in Nam, and I just want to pay my respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Now, if you're ready, let's flap and do this.
Don't panic, you're not broken. Your sex education was a piece of shit. Get your flaps out and pull up a couch. It's the Labia Lounge.
Hey gang, just before we jump into this episode, I wanted to offer you an opportunity to access my new mini course for free before I start charging for it in future. It's for people with vulvas and it's quick to complete. It's all about demystifying the female body and pleasure anatomy and getting some basic fundamentals to understand your body better. It's called Pussy Pleasure Secrets, Your Roadmap to Bedroom Bliss. You can grab it on the freebies page of my website or in the show notes. It's a great little free resource to kind of dip your toe in or act as a bit of a taster for my work. So if you've ever been curious about this sort of thing and you just don't know where to start, or you want a really quick, easy, accessible, non-threatening way to get the ball rolling and start working on this stuff, this is a great place to start. G'day. Welcome back. Part 7 we're up to of Chats with Dan. Pretty cool. If you haven't already listened to some of the others, we've covered some very interesting and cool shit. And I highly recommend going and listening because they're not sequential, but they do kind of build on each other each episode. It's bonus content. I've chopped it up from longer conversations that my friend Dan and I have had on the deck at my place. And yeah, it's just really fucking high quality conversation, basically. Funny, vulnerable, sexy, mysterious, all the things you want. This chat, we cover things like pigeons and why they're gay. That will make more sense once you listen. Bubble ducking, frottage, the Brunswick Cuck bus stop. Honestly, none of these things probably make any sense to you right now. That's why you've got to listen to this episode. I'm going to let you get stuck in. And as always, please leave a comment or DM me if you have thoughts, questions, topic ideas. And I hope you stick around for more installments of these amazing chats with darling Dan.
Brunswick Cuck bus stop. I have to say, I have never seen the bus stop in person. This is like a myth that I've heard about. Well, I have actually seen a photo of it, but I, about a year ago, got a job in Brunswick where we were introduced to each other. And as I always do, like I want to like find all like the, the great cafes and local food spots. And I was like, let me learn, about Brunswick. It just had this like vision of it, all the cool people were. So I was like, I want to be there. I want to be in the know. And the first thing that came up, I believe it was on Reddit where I find all of my good stuff, was the idea of this myth of this legend of the Brunswick Cuck bus stop. And I've never seen, we all know what a bus stop looks like. It's, a horizontal, lengthways seat for like maybe 2 or 3 people. And this is a bus stop that I think is on like the main Sydney road or kind of central, that you have that classic bus stop seating where multiple people can sit. But then adjacent to it, sitting alongside the road next to it, is this single seat of this like bus stop seating that has clearly been cut in half just to add on one little extra seat that you can awkwardly sit, standing next to the road. That looks
next to the bus stop.
So imagine you've got like your usual lengthways bus stop, and then on the corner, just like you would have a cuck chair in your bedroom, just facing the seat and facing the road. And I remember seeing the image of it and it was the best fucking thing I've ever seen. The idea of, cuckolds, the world of cucking, extending to bus stops and it becoming such a thing in like the cultural zeitgeist that we see an individual seat and we're just like, it's a cuck chair.
Oh,
it's the local
so
bus
no
stop cuck
cucking
chair.
actually happened there. It was more like a meme of this like bus stop that.
I believe in my heart of heart, I'd like to believe that someone saw it's called a cuck chair. Let's bring the name to life. Yeah.
I hope so.
I want to believe.
I want to believe. I need to believe. Oh,
and all
great.
of this was happening, I think we also talked about this as well, as last year I discovered my deep, deep love for cucking. Not myself and in my own relationship, but in the porn that I watched, and specifically the idea of cucking in like heteronormative relationships.
Yeah.
So this was just this like...
You are just a fount of these amazing fucking stories.
Never, I guess I knew that like swinging existed and all of this stuff, but again, probably it was a Reddit subthread or like maybe like a porn category that was suggested for me. And I had just recently discovered the world of cucking. And like, I watch porn like what I would perceive to be a pretty normal amount. I've never had like a favorite porn star, or I've never had a favorite category or anything that like I specifically seek out. My process, for everyone who's really interested, is there is this phenomenal gay porn site, which, when we all started, it was like Pornhub and X and RedTube and all of that kind of stuff. And I discovered this place called like Gay Male Tube, which is like the YouTube of gay porn. It is just the culmination of every single porn site and video you can find in one place. And so my process usually is to just like scroll, look at the thumbnails, open it in a new tab, and I'll open like 20 videos and I'll be like, cool, I'll work through that for the next week. And one of them just happened to be a cucking video, and it was like of a straight couple, so already interesting that that's on the gay porn site. And I just remember it was the first time I've become like obsessed with a category or a kink or this thing. Just the power dynamic, the confidence, the liberation, the idea of, for those at home that aren't familiar, there's kind of three usual main roles in the world of cucking or cuckolding, which is you typically have the cuck, which is the partner who does not,
who sits in the chair and watches his hot wife?
Who sits in the Brunswick bus stop. And there's the hot wife and usually the bull that comes in. And just the idea of there is sometimes like humiliation aspects to it, but a lot of the times what really fascinated me is how much it was for the cuck. Like the cuck just loved the idea of seeing their partner getting, pleasured by someone that, usually brings out their own inadequacies, whether that's about penis size or muscle build or anything. And
lots of like big black cocks in the cuck sort of space.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, small penis humiliation and all of these things. But I remember the first video that I saw of it was just like, you could hear the excitement in the cuck's voice while he was, filming this. And, the aspects of like, hetero flexibility where they might, suck the load out of their girlfriend afterwards, or, the wife or the bull being like, clean me up afterwards. Like I was fascinated. I was, going into as much content as I possibly could. And, it was in a committed relationship. My partner and I both know that, each other watch porn. We masturbate. We do that separately. It's not this, like, weird. We don't have a hang-up about it. But I remember, like, into it, my partner randomly turning to me and being like, do you know what cucking is? And me being like, I'm so fucking into cucking right now. And him going on a similar journey as well. Like, he had just discovered the category at the same time.
Whoa.
And then I was moving into, this new job and discovered the Brunswick Cuck bus stop at the same time. And it was just like everything in my life was leading me into this lifestyle. And I never actually tried to go and find it when I was working in Brunswick. And I really regret it. But you know what? what? It's
Somewhere on
still
Sydney Road, though.
I believe so. It's still a suburb that's not too far from me, so maybe next time we hang, we can go for an adventure to
Let's
find
do
it.
it. I must have walked past it before because I
Surely.
walk up and down Sydney Road a fair
I
bit.
believe it's Sydney Road, if not like maybe right off it.
Okay.
But I'm going to find the
Let's
details.
fucking find it. Let's go have a photo shoot.
Yes, yes. And then soon after, while we were both working in Brunswick, the Brunswick shitter then was introduced, which was a human that was walking around just doing massive dumps all over Brunswick.
What?
And that I saw in person on Hope Street, walking past with one of our colleagues, just a fat human shit.
And how did you know it was a human shit?
Oh, you can tell.
Okay.
You can. I mean, I've got a big dog. I've got a large
Yeah.
breed dog, and I know what they look like. This was human.
Oh my God.
So that is my little famous Brunswick moment. Is I did see a shit by the Brunswick shitter. I don't know if he's still in operation. So maybe something that I'm gonna have to research and see if he's
Dude, Brunswick is full of fucking nutters. Like the seizure guy is in Brunswick. Like,
He is,
and we
yep.
talked about that on the other.
There's a pigeon guy as well in Brunswick. I don't know if you know about this. So on the end of Sydney Road, that's like closest to the CBD, there's like a Dangerfield store, and next to it is like this rock climbing installation. And at certain times of the day, if you walk past, there's a man that just sits there and is surrounded by pigeons. I've never seen him feeding them or anything like that, but he will have them not only circling him, sitting on his shoulders, on his arms, on his head, and stillness. Like he just sits there and chills with the pigeons. So there's also...
Are they wild pigeons or are they his pigeons? Like homing pigeons that are tame and that know him?
I don't know. I never asked. I was always driving past to and from work.
And you've fucking seen it?
Yeah, every single time.
I can't believe I haven't seen it.
It was always, I think, on my home, so around, say, like 5:30, 6 p.m. Yeah, this pigeon guy. And I loved it. Like, I
Epic.
love pigeons. Pigeons are one of my special
Pigeons are
interests as
great.
well.
I think they get a really raw deal.
Oh, we fucked them over.
Yeah. Do you know they're actually... Wait, maybe you told me this. But they're actually, like, rock pigeons, like... They're meant to just be in like craggy sort of cliff faces and stuff on the ocean, on the coast, and that's why they sort of survive in the city. There was like a bunch of other facts about them actually.
They don't know how to build nests. They never had to learn because they were domesticated. And
that's why we keep finding pigeon eggs falling in our backyard because they've not been able to build proper nests.
It's both the cutest and saddest thing you'll ever see. If you Google pigeon nests, they will literally lay like 3 or 4 twigs down and they think that that's a nest. Because you're right, they were either like in little like rock, things. And then we had little like penthouses that we built for them. And then, once we had electronic mail, we're like, we don't need you anymore. And so to this day, pigeons, they can't
Wait. As in they used to put their nests in mailboxes?
So we used to on sky rises, we built like massive, there's a name for it, I can't think, it's aviary, maybe? But like massive bird cages that the cities would look after to home the pigeons.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's still some around on like old skyscrapers that you can see to this day. But yeah, we literally collectively looked after pigeons and then suddenly decided one day that we didn't want to do that anymore. And so it's like one of the biggest cases of humans domesticating an animal and then no longer wanting them around anymore. And it's still, so detrimental that, that's why you're finding eggs falling out of, trees and stuff because they don't know how to build nests.
Oh my God, because I feel so bad. We had, see this like roller, like shade, it's like it's gonna be hard to describe. On our deck where I'm sitting right now, it's like a shade blind that you roll up and down. And when it was rolled up quite a lot through like winter and spring and stuff, like it's down a lot now because it's summer and the sun comes in. But I used to sit out here in the morning and there's like, I love watching the pigeons. They always couple up and they just like have each other in there.
They feel so in love, don't they?
God. And I love watching them in like their courtship sort of season where they're fucking and they're like, doing the dance. And it's just like, I don't know, it's nice to have them around. I like birds in general. But this pigeon couple, I was just sitting having my brekkie out here and the blinds were like rolled up. And so within the sort of, they managed to like tuck them. One of them was tucked in there and I noticed one just continuing to come back carrying little twigs in its beak. And I was like, oh no, it started to build a nest in there. I better stop it before it gets too far because like we're going to roll that down and I don't want it to like finish its nest and fucking lay eggs. And so I rolled down the blind and this like really pitiful little like bundle of twigs fell out. And then
That was a fully finished nest as well.
God.
So you did not save it. You weren't proactive. Yeah.
Okay, fuck. And I then had to sit on the deck and watch as like both pigeons kind of kept flying up and circling around and like looking for where the nest had been and looking really confused and like, yeah, just like revisiting the spot, being like, what's happened? What's going on? My nest there's nowhere to land now. And yeah, I think they ended up doing one in the tree out the back there. And like Georgie and I often like see them and watch them and stuff. And we found like heaps of eggs that just, fallen.
Yeah. My other... so sad. See, this is one of the biggest crimes of humanity is what we did to pigeons. I do have another really fun pigeon fact.
Great.
I believe it's true.
Yeah.
Factual, I need to fact check later. Pigeons have incredible depth perception. So you'd probably notice, like, walking around the city, you can walk, like, right up to and right past a pigeon. Like, unlike other birds, they won't fly away when you're, like, 2 meters away
I
from
just
them.
thought they were like used to humans and they didn't get scared.
I'm sure that's probably still an element of it as well, but pigeons have incredible depth perception, so they know when's the like latest moment that they need to like hike it and get out of that
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
Which is really fast. I find that so fast. I love learning animals like random like special skill.
Yeah.
And yeah, apparently pigeons have like incredible depth perception. But then also there's another fun fact about their eyes or something that I can't remember. So yeah, they're such a cool bird. They're such a cool bird and they're beautiful. I don't understand this like
They're so elegant and pretty.
this idea that
The
like
rats
pigeons
of
are
the sky,
Yeah, they
I
are.
know.
Have you seen the colours on their neck?
gorgeous.
Have you seen an albino pigeon?
Yeah,
And
they're
like
beautiful. Like
things.
doves.
Yes,
I know.
I fucking love pigeons.
Dude, same. I'm way into pigeons. There's actually a, you know that it's an Instagram account and it's like where there's like a phone, an old school phone on a bridge
Yes.
in England. There's
Yeah.
a dude, can't remember his name, like a famous dude, who maybe he's even like a rapper or something. And he like gets on the phone and just starts ripping facts about pigeons and being like, pigeons are fucking awesome and everyone sucks
Yeah.
for what they've done to pigeons.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you just told me, but
That's what
he
he's
had some
referencing.
really good pigeons.
Yeah.
He had some pigeon facts, some really good ones.
And I think like while we're here, shout out to like birds in general.
Yeah.
I
And Joshy G.
I just think the fact that like I think pretty like collectively we agree that like bird sounds are amazing,
Yeah.
right? The idea that, and this goes for like the animal kingdom and wide, but birds specifically, the idea that bird sounds are just them trying to get a root will
Not
never.
always, not all of the sounds.
I'd like to believe that.
No, babe.
you're
They
ruining
have
my
all
fantasy.
sorts of sounds.
Okay, well, when I'm appreciating bird sounds,
You're imagining that they're-
I like to think about
a
this.
mating call.
This is someone like throwing down spitting game. I love to picture
Well,
it.
but like the dances though,
Oh,
the dances and the feathers, like that's them trying to get a root, and that is them doing the most.
Oh yeah, and just like there's just something so gay about like birds as well.
So
like,
gay.
they're so flamboyant.
Yeah, and the men are always the most flamboyant.
And what's their called? It's like called a colloque. I'm gonna butcher it, but the fact that like pigeons have one hole, all of them.
Oh, the cloaca.
Cloaca, that's it,
Birds
yeah.
have chickens too. They just
Even
have one
that. So
hole.
not only are they're gay, but they're like trans and gender diverse adjacent as well. And like you never really know what gender your bird is unless you like properly go and get it tested. Like I learned about this through
Well,
one of my
certain
friends.
birds, but otherwise you can tell from their feathers.
Okay, you can. Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course, yeah. But yeah, just the idea that it's like species of animal that's just is like rubbing holes. I love that.
Rubbing hole. No, but there's a penis that goes in the cloaca.
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
I'm
so.
learning
I
things
think
as
so.
well.
I think they have to. Well, there definitely is for chickens and roosters. So I imagine for other
Oh,
birds to have a
yeah.
little willy that gets up there.
Okay.
Yeah, they shit and piss out of their cloacas, but they jizz out of a dick.
Cool.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Okay.
Fact check it.
Fuck
But
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're not just rubbing holes and oozing semen through a cloaca.
Because I had so many questions. It's like the scissoring of the animal kingdom in my head. I was like, I've learned from my lesbian friends that scissoring is somewhat real, but not really. And I'm like, okay, but the birds are making it work.
Actually, what you're describing the birds doing, rubbing their holes together, is what actually. Do you remember? There was a guy. Anyway, he was an old friend of mine, and we used to have I had platonic baths with my friends, and we used to have baths and fart in the bath, and then because he was so big, we'd be almost squashed in with our bums docking, and pretend we would pretend or try to fart in each other's buttholes, and we coined the term bubble duck for because we never, and that we didn't sort of sink sphincters and fart into each other's buttholes, but we would fart on each other's butthole in the bath and call it a bubble duck.
A bubble duck is brilliant.
Which has a bird name in it.
Yes.
So maybe we're
Full
on
circle.
to it.
I will never forget my also male partner, who is a bottom, and his body is just wired for anal pleasure. There is just, I think when it comes to homosexual sex, your body really does, I believe anyway, that your body somewhat is inclined to one of the multiple positions that are out there. And this man, it's amazing. You can just brush up against him and he's screaming, moaning, eyes rolling back. Makes my life really easy.
Oh, that's great.
But I remember one time it was sitting in his lap, and he was directing my legs and moving me in a way and rubbing up against me, which was going onto my hole as well. And it was the first time I had ever experienced scissoring adjacent, and it was the funniest thing in the entire world because he was loving it. I get no stimulation down there whatsoever.
On your bum?
On my bum, does nothing for me.
Okay, yeah.
Tried giving it a red hot go. The idea of it is really hot to me, but literally zero sensation.
Yeah.
It's if you tried to rub my wrist or something. Halfway through, I literally stopped. I was like, are we scissoring right now?
Wait, but you said you're sitting on his lap.
So in. So imagine I'm in his if his legs were making a nook, I was because we started through fellatio. So frottage, my favorite word, which is rubbing two penises together. So imagine I'm
Are you facing him or facing away?
We're facing each other.
Okay.
In the little nook.
Yep. Okay. I was picturing something different.
Yeah, so cocks
You're
together.
basically bubble ducking, but out of the water.
Yes,
okay, so yeah. Okay.
So it started with, a bit of frottage, which is so underrated. If you haven't tried it, check it out.
Yeah, rub dicks.
Oh my God. Literally one of the best sensations in the entire world. And
Why is it better than hands rubbing a dick, or do you think the penis on penis is particularly pleasurable for some reason, or just because it's both of you are being pleasured in the same spot at the same time?
There's probably that. There's probably the visual element of it. It's also a super erogenous zone as well, and it's probably the poster child of man on man, sex. I don't know, it just really does something for me. That's slowly turned
your
into
your bum holes were rubbing.
Then he was lifting my leg and trying to, because he clearly was the cock simulation is not doing it for me. Get down to where you need to be, and was moving my legs and rubbing up against it, and slowly had to be you're trying to scissor me right now.
Oh
That's not a thing that our bodies are going to do.
Oh my God, that's great. That's fucking great. We'll totally have to do, I guess it's totally at the discretion of you and your partner, but all of the fucking sexcapades you guys have been on lately, dear God, they're so interesting. And I guess cuck adjacent, if you're going and fucking someone else and videoing it for your partner.
Yes.
It's not you're sitting in a chair in the room and there's small dick humiliation going on or anything, but it's kind of getting close to,
I mean, I think that is our
version.
dipping our toes into it in a way that because I don't I'm not into the humiliation aspect as well. My partner isn't, and also I just couldn't. My man's got it going on, this is purely just to have different experiences. But there is definitely an element of, it's at least voyeurism. That's for sure what we're doing. But he would be so down, because you're right, the last few months have just been amazing with,
oh my God,
seeing the whole crayon box out there of what, sex has to offer.
Oh my God.
And to do that, in a long-term committed relationship with, my partner who, a few years ago would not have wanted a world, to step into that world whatsoever. And, yeah, to go on very different journeys at the same time of like myself getting this, you know, aspect that I have wanted for a really long time, and then my partner kind of discovering this want that he never thought was possible as well, and just how we're learning our bodies, you know, through that as well. It's been fucking awesome. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so dope.
Hey, me again. If you'd like to support the potty and you've already given it 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening on, I want to mention that you can buy some really dope merch from the website and get yourself a Labia Lounge tote, tee, togs. Yep, you heard that right. I even have Labia Lounge bathers. Or a cute fanny pack if that'd blow your hair back. So if fashion isn't your passion though, you can donate to my Buy Me a Coffee donation page, which is actually called Buy Me a Soy Chai Latte, because I'll be the first to admit I'm a bit of a Melbourne cafe tosser like that. And yes, that is my coffee order. You can do a once-off donation or an ongoing membership and sponsor me for as little as 3 fat ones a month. And I also offer one-on-one coaching and online courses that'll help you level up your sex life and relationship with yourself and others in a really big way. So every bit helps, because it ain't cheap to put out a sweet podcast into the world every week out of my own pocket. So I will be undyingly grateful if you support me and my biz financially in any of these ways. And if you like, I'll even give you a mental BJ with my mind from the lounge itself. Saucy. I'll pop the links in the show notes. Thank you. Later. That's it, darling hearts. Thanks for stopping by the Labia Lounge. Your bum groove in the couch will be right where you left it, just waiting for you to sink back in for some more double L action next time. If you'd be a dear and subscribe, share this episode, or leave a review on iTunes, then you can pat yourself on the snatch, because that's a downright act of sex-positive feminist activism, and you'd be supporting my vision to educate, empower, demystify and destigmatize with this here podcast. I'm also always open to feedback, topic ideas that you'd love to hear covered, questions or guest suggestions, so feel free to get in touch via my website or over on Insta. You can also send me in TMI stories to be shared anonymously on the pod. My handle is FreyaGraf_the Labia Lounge, if my account hasn't been deleted for being too sex positive, which, you know, is always a possibility with censorship. But just in case the chronic censorship finally does obliterate my social channels, I'd highly recommend going and joining my mailing list and snagging yourself some fun freebies for the trouble at www.freyagraf.com/freebies. Anyway, later, labial legends. See you next time.